Hi, my name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Today I'm going to explain to you a couple of the techniques I use to prevent water bottle contamination. When you're using water bottles, when you're camping and hiking and adventuring, they can actually get pretty gross, and I'm going to explain generally why that happens and how to avoid it in this video. How do you avoid developing gross contamination in your water bottle when you're hiking, backpacking, climbing, and trekking? Well, that's what I'm going to tell you in this video. See, one of the challenges is as you're going along and you're trekking and you're opening your water bottle and you're taking drinks out of the bottle, eventually you might notice that you put the bottle up to your nose and you sniff and like, oh, that's disgusting. What is that smell from? Well, there are a couple, well, I put two fingers up. There are two primary contamination sources for that. One is the water that you're putting in your bottle. Is it actually clear? Have you used a proper either boiling or some sort of treatment system, Aquamira, Sawyer, or whatever, to completely clean out the water so it's clean and not contaminating your bottle? If you put your nose up to your water and you smell it and it smells biological or kind of gross, you need to ditch that water immediately because you can get sick. But the second, more insidious factor about water bottle contamination is actually from you. And the reason that is because your kisser right here can actually cause a lot of contamination. Now, so two sources for that again. The first, chapstick, Blistex, lip balm, whatever you might call it. See, this is SPF 15 Blistex, which I really, really like. But in recent years, I've stopped using this on my lips and I'll probably get cancer or something. But the problem is when you slather on, chapstick, yeah, that's great. And then you take a drink out of your bottle, good water, and then you screw that lid shut. Did you realize that you transferred the chapstick, lipstick, lip balm from your lips that you drank on, which are moist and loaded with bacteria, onto the threads of your bottle and onto the lid? And by screwing it on there and it's sitting in your warm backpack in a warm day, if it is warm, that bacteria sits there and it starts doing its thing. Especially bacteria from your mouth that sits on this bottle, and it can actually become really, really disgusting. So my first and primary technique is to simply stop using lip balm or chapstick or whatever, simply because by putting your mouth on there, it's almost completely unavoidable not to get mouth digestive juices, your saliva and bacteria all over this thing. And imagine if you were licking the container of food that your parents yelled at you not to do, and you lick that thing for 4 days, wouldn't that become utterly disgusting? That's right. So even though it's very important to protect your lips from radiation and all this, you have to consider that you may be actually contaminating yourself with high levels of bacteria and then ingesting them into your body, which causes other problems. So, kind of tough. So, my recommendation for avoiding the stink on the bottle is don't use the lip balm at all. The second thing is where you place your lips. Now, I actually use this type of water bottle instead of an Nalgene, and I'll explain that in a minute. But instead of traditionally putting your lower lip below the thread of the bottle, instead, if you put your lower lip above the lip of the bottle, like this, and begin drinking, you'll be able to drink your fluid without getting your lips on the thread. Now, of course, there is some disadvantage there of backwash and getting mouth bacteria and everything back into the container. But if you drink like this, you close your mouth and kind of peel up, you get a little bit of dribble. It might go down your shirt. You're backpacking and climbing anyway, so you're probably pretty stinky. But that's about the best technique I've found, is I will drink like this with my lips there and drink like that. and I have virtually eliminated that stinky water bottle smell, especially in a warm summer and a backpacking trip. You pick it up, so I literally drink like this. Now the reason I do that and think, oh, that's terrible in the fluid, is that water that I'm consuming, I consume that relatively quickly. But the threads on the bottle, that bad boy stays there for a long, long time. Also, especially in cold environments, every time I take a drink, I always wipe the threads off to get the mouth bacteria off of the bottle threads. Now, yes, are my hands potentially dirty? Sure, so a little bit of hand sanitizer. Make sure to do that, just wipe it off. Or use your shirt, depending on what's going on. Because I'd rather deal with general dirt and grime than biologics from my mouth on the thread. So that's another technique, especially when it's cold, is to get all that water off there. Because when you close the threads in the bottle, if there's water still on the threads, that actually causes the threads to freeze up, and then you'll have a bear of a time getting the bottle open. It's a real pain. So there's multiple advantages to not getting your lips on the threads of the bottle, like thus, and also to prevent it from freezing over. Now, I mentioned that I actually use this type of bottle instead of a Nalgene for drinking, and the reason I do that is because of weight. Nalgenes are extremely heavy. The only time I use them are in climbing situations or polar exploration or sub-zero camping, hiking, backpacking, or whatever, or sub-freezing, not sub-zero, sub-freezing, because these things are massive overkill in the summer. They're really heavy, and you carry 2 or 3 of them. You're carrying 1.5 pounds or 2 or 3 of plastic. Whereas this type of bottle, not just buy water or whatever that is, but this is about an 18 to 20 fluid ounce container. It is ridiculously light. And if it gets destroyed or anything, I won't cry. And in a total pinch, I can put water in here, put this over a fire, boil the water and sanitize it if necessary. And if I destroy this bottle, it's no big deal. I use this type of bottle in Greenland on my Greenland expedition, and I brought 2 as a backup because one got destroyed and lost. So I use the same technique of putting my lip out and drinking that way out of the bottle rather than putting my lips here and drinking, and it prevents the growth on this bottle. And just by touching my lips on there, you can see that the moisture is already built up. Also, if you're going to use this technique, when you snap that ring off, make sure either to use your knife or use your hands or whatever and completely remove this ring, because that ring not only rattles around and drives you nuts, but it can also hold waterborne and mouth-borne bacteria on the water bottle. So that's definitely something to consider. Also, these are super tough. They take a beating. I mean, Nalgenes are, I wouldn't say they're invincible, but pretty invincible. These guys are just as well, and they fit in cargo shorts or your backpack side pocket way better than a Nalgene bottle. I'm not anti-Nalgene, but that's a thing. So just that little technique of sticking your lips out, drinking like that, and completely foregoing the use of chapstick will completely eliminate that gross water bottle stink on your bottles while you're hiking, backpacking, camping, adventuring, and climbing. I hope you found this video useful and interesting. Please like and comment on the video, and if you found it super useful, subscribe to my channel so I can keep bringing you more information and you can keep apprised of it. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and professional adventurer. Please like and comment on the video, and if you found it helpful, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching and enjoy your adventures.